signs that we were carrying said that I am a man, then we was going to demand to have the same dignity and the same courtesy any other citizen of Memphis has.
We are saying that we are determined to be.
Welcome to another episode of Shaken Not Stirred. I am your host, Martini, and if this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If you visited my channel before and checked out a video, go ahead, please show your support and appreciation for the content by liking this video, sharing it, as well as subscribing or hitting that subscribe button down below. Today's episode is on a topic that I did a part 1 to in season 1 of Shaken Not Stirred, and I thought I would do a second part because of how disturbingly subtle and almost non-existing it is. It is a topic that I can speak to personally and with complete conviction because it's the only thing I've ever known since the day I was born. Being a black man. Now, before I jump into this episode, as I normally do, I want to preload a few things. For anyone who is watching with any kind of childhood traumas or unreconciled childhood traumas, any unresolved parental issues, or little to zero self-awareness. I know the world that we currently live in has commodified just about every single aspect of the human experience and also places a peculiar emphasis on anyone who shares their thoughts on certain topics to be experts in that topic, or to make statements about that topic. Well, I'm not here to satisfy those viewers' appetites. I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to provide practical, sensible, and an entirely different perspective on the solutions to many of the issues and problems that face the black community. If you're a human being who wears a mask in order to function in the world that we live in, I highly submit you go ahead and hit that not interested button and continue on your life journey with much safety. If you are a human that is tired of wearing the masks, tired of the status quo, please stay a while. Something just might pique your interest. Now that's out of the way, let's talk. So, black men by and large have existed in what I like to refer to as an antithetical paradox for the better part of the last 2 millennia, or maybe even more. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that. We're the most sought after, admired, and desired beings on the planet, while simultaneously also being the most disrespected, detested, and dejected beings by everyone on the planet, including our black female counterparts. It is quite a confusing and extremely conflicting state of existence to be in. I wrote a piece about this in the August edition of the virtual magazine for Black Menswear. Shout out to those brothers. In the article, I dropped some statistics about black men living here in the U.S. that should make all of us, if not at least, pause or stop and question why those stats are the way they are to begin with. I'll share a few of those stats with you all here. So according to the Department of Justice and blackdemographics.com, I'll share those links, the links to the stats in the description box below. Black men made up 80% of the total state and federal prison population rate in 2010 as compared to their non-black counterparts. So in other words, there were more black men in prison and jail that year alone than any other group of men in the entire U.S. Among males from birth, blacks, 28.5%, are about twice as likely as Hispanics, 16%, and 6 times more likely than whites, 4.4%, to be admitted to the prisons or to be admitted to prison during their life. 1 out of every 5 black male are guaranteed to be imprisoned in their entire lifetime. Black men are least likely to live past 70 years old, and on average, pass away just before that age. They are least likely to collect retirement or Social Security benefits, even though they contribute to it during their working years. Now, although the self-deletion rates among men are the highest with white men, black men are still 4 times more likely to self-delete than their black female counterparts. Now, there are many who will hear these statistics and literally go back to whatever it is that they were doing before they heard them, because it doesn't affect or impact them in any kind of way. That, right there, is the problem. The indescribable apathy that black men receive when it comes to their existence is disgusting. Now, before I move on any further, I want to make sure that you understand that black men and women have not been viewed and treated by and large as beings worthy of existence for a very long time, even up to this present day. So I don't intend to gloss over that, nor do I intend to exclude black women from our collective plight. What I do want to highlight, though, is that some of the things that most people aren't aware of when it comes to black men, and some things that even we as black men ourselves aren't aware of as it pertains to the reality that we live in. There's a book that was published back in 2007 by the staff of the Washington Post called Being a Black Man at the Corner of Progress and Peril, that I would submit all black men and women, and really anyone else for that matter, to read, to understand firsthand what it means to be a black man living in the U.S. as well as the rest of the world. It's sort of an anthology of different black men that chronicles their lives and exposes the very real and insufferable challenges that we face every single day of our lives. So, what does it mean to me to be a black man living in the world today? Well, for starters, I have fully accepted the fact that there's a strong probability that I won't live to see 60, maybe even 50 years old. And I'm fully at peace with that. I'm also at peace with the hurt, injury, and pain I have received at the hands of the world, including black women. That won't change my love and appreciation for my sisters, though. Lastly, I'm at peace with the possibility of not seeing the complete unification of black men and black women in my lifetime. And I understand why the division began in the first place. See, for me, being a black man means I got to experience this so-called life through the vessel of the original human blueprint. And that alone is something no one can ever take away from me. Peace and blessings.